Okay, this is Math 8, Lesson 21, graphing using y equals mx plus b. So we're graphing linear equations today. This is going to be a fast, easy way to graph them, much quicker and easier than using a t-chart. So I think you're actually going to like it. Okay. Okay, don't forget to pause this recording at any time that you need to. I'm going to try to go through it as quickly as possible so you can use it for review if you want to play it a second time and you don't have to wait through all the pausing. You know, the pausing should be up to you. You make the pauses when you need to finish writing things down. Okay, your essential question is, what does an equation in y equals mx plus b form provide that enables you to graph the line? What does an equation in y equals mx plus b form provide that enables you to graph the line? Let's find out. Okay, to graph a linear equation, these are your steps. First, you want to get the equation in y equals mx plus b form. And the ones that I'm going to cover today are all already in that form, so that's going to save us some time. 2, identify the slope, your m value, and your y-intercept, which is your b value. 3, plot the y-intercept, so plot your b value. Plot that point that's on the y-axis. 4, start at the y-intercept, so go back to that point, and use slopes rise over run to step to each new point. And then go ahead finally and draw your line through the points that you made. Alright, let's see how this works. Okay, so here's our first equation, y equals negative 2x. So let's think about what we know about linear equation. We know it's in, we want this is in y equals mx plus b form. So using that, we're able to determine that the slope is our coefficient of x, so it's negative 2. We're going to go ahead and write this as a fraction. You'll see why in a minute. It gives us a rise number and a run number. We want each of those. And then our y-intercept, well, there is no number here at the end, so then it must just be adding a 0. So that means our y-intercept is going to be 0, 0. Okay, the y-intercept is where we start. We take this y-intercept, always starting with that, and this happens to be the origin, so that's easy to plot. Plot that point. And then from there, we're going to use the slope to kind of march or step to our next point. So the top number is our rise number. Since it's negative, you know, we decide are we going up or down? But if it's negative, that means we're going down 2. And then our run number is positive 1, so we need to decide are we going left or right. Since it's a positive 1, that means we're moving to the right. So go back to your origin where you have your y-intercept. From that point, we're going to move down 2 and 1 to the right, and that's where you'll plot your next point. Excuse me. And then repeat this process from the last point you made. Go down 2 and 1 to the right, and there's your next point. And that's as far as you need to go. 3 points will do. Draw your line through. Helps if you use a ruler when you're doing this on your own. There's your line. Easy, right? Let's try a second one. Okay, here's the next one. Y equals 3x minus 2. So remember, this is in y equals mx plus b form. So we're going to use this to pull out the slope and the y-intercept. So our slope is right here. It's the number that's multiplying x, or the coefficient of x. And that's 1/3, so it's already in fraction form for us. We'll just go ahead and leave it that way. And then our y-intercept is negative 2, so when we rewrite that as a coordinate, it's 0, negative 2. Okay, let's start with the y-intercept. We're going to plot that point. So 0, negative 2 will be right here on the y-axis. Okay, now let's go look at our slope. Remember, it's rise over run. So our rise number is positive 1. Since it's positive, that means we're going to be going up 1. And our run number is positive 3. Since it's positive, that means we're going 3 to the right. So go back to 0, negative 2. You're going to start there. you're going to go up 1 and 1, 2, 3 to the right, and that's where you'll plot your next point. And to do it again from that last point you plotted, go up 1 and 1, 2, 3 to the right. And then draw your line. That's it. That's all you have to do. Okay, last one. Okay, so we have y equals negative 2/5 x plus 3. So remember, we're looking at this in y equals mx plus b form. So our slope, or m value, is negative 2/5. I always like to put my negative with the top, and that way my bottom number, the run number, is always positive. And so I could just always know that I'm going to the right with that. But it doesn't matter. The negative can go with the top or with the bottom, but you have to decide which one of them for it to go with so that it can tell you direction to go. And then your y-intercept is 3, so we're going to write that as 0, 3 for our point. Okay, that's where we start. We start with our y-intercept, go to 0, 3, and plot that point. Okay. And now we're going to go back to our slope. We have negative 2 for our rise number, so that means we're going down 2. And then we have positive 5 for our run number. That means we're going 5 to the right. So go ahead and start from 0, 3. We're going to go down 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. And then do it again. Go down 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. Okay, and then draw your line. Yikes. Use a ruler. This is why. Use a ruler. That doesn't look so hot. Okay, so don't forget to review today's notes, write headings and questions to quiz yourself on the left-hand side of your notebook, and summarize what you've learned by writing your summary below your notes. Okay, feel free to review this and replay it as many times as you need to so that you know what you're doing when it comes to graphing linear equations using equations in y equals mx plus b form.